Hey, everybody, it's your girl, author Doc B. She's in the building. And guess what? We have a special treat for you tonight. Welcome to Bring It to the Table. And thank you all for your support. And you continue to come back and support me time after time after time. And for that, I'm truly grateful. Um, Bring It to the Table is a safe place where anyone can come who has conquered, overcome, and survived anything. And guess what? And is now living beyond your dreams. Now, this summer's segment, okay, is all about surviving addiction. That's right. And last week, it was, oh my gosh, it was so good last week. We had someone on, Nicole R. Kelly Mack, and she gave it up all about how she survived the streets of North Philadelphia and is now in recovery, living beyond her dreams. So now tonight, I'm bringing you some sweet stuff, honey, all the way from North Carolina. Yes, we got Miss Dani. She coming on here, honey, okay? Dani is in the building. She is backstage right now. She'll tell you her clean time. She'll tell you the backstory. And always remember, the podcast was created from my book. My book is called The Three C's Learn How I'll Survive the Crack Addiction, Cancer, and COVID-19, and is now living beyond my dreams. So, yeah, cracked addict turns doctorate. Now hosting webinars all over the world, helping people just like myself recover from anything. So if you too can be on the show, if you like, just hit me up on my inbox, or you can call me, or you can email me at FeliciaBurton12@gmail.com. You can go on www.authordocb.com to get your books. My workbook just came out and I'm working on my third one right now. Now, surprise, tonight I am going to mention the Soar Like an Eagle tour. Woo! Doc B going on tour, y'all. I'm taking my book on the road in different countries and different states. So look out for that on my social media platform. Again, thank you all for joining. Hi, Matthew. I see you. Thank you for joining. Hi, Carolyn. Thank you for joining. I see you all. You're so loyal to me, and I'm grateful for all of your support. So without further ado, let me tell you, surviving addiction through this summer. Y'all better not miss an episode. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Please click like and share. Please be interactive. We love people who put things in the chat. Put it in there. Negative feedback, positive feedback. We accept it all. Okay, we accept it all because there's always room for improvement on Bring It to the Table. So without further ado, oh my God, you'll be so excited. I'm going to bring her on. Her name is Dani Weiss from North Carolina. Here she is. Let's give her a warm welcome. Hi,
Hi.
Dani. Hi.
Hi.
There go my girlfriend. Hi, girlfriend.
Hi. Hey, girl. Hey.
Girlfriend, sister from another mother. Girlfriend, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How is the great state of North Carolina?
Oh, it's hot.
It
It's
is hot.
hot. It's
It
hot.
is hot, huh?
Yeah, it
How was
got
your day?
hot real
Good?
quick.
Day went good though, huh?
Yeah, the day
I
went
know you
great.
got that grandbaby over there. Ooh, girl, I can't wait. Mine's coming next week.
Woo-woo!
I got all three at one time.
Better
I gotta
you.
stop doing that.
I got one.
I
And he's
know. I gotta
good.
start doing one at a time, right? I gotta start wanting to do. Oh, they're already in the audience saying hi, Dani. They're all saying hello. I see you
Hi.
from Sierra Leone. Thank you for joining. I see you from Africa. I see you. They stay up late at night just to come to the show.
I love it.
Isn't that nice?
It's really nice.
I mean, it's these two people I know for sure they're in Africa. They are so loyal.
I love it.
Me too. So, this is about you tonight. And I want to first thank you for agreeing to come onto the show to answer questions, interact with the audience, and share some hope among anything. So, Bring It to the Table is a place where you can come and talk about overcoming, conquering, and surviving things, right? And then living in this place where you never thought you could go. And when I asked you, you didn't hesitate. You was like, sure, Felicia, I'll come. So I have questions. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Can you please tell the audience, Miss Dani, who is Dani? Like, who's this lady that says she's living beyond her dreams? Who is she?
Oh, well, that's a good question. So I'm a mother of two girls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a grandma of one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm learning who I am today. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging deep and realizing that I'm kind
Mm-hmm.
and I'm compassionate and I have a drive
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be an example for others.
Okay. Okay, that's good. And I believe that you are. So there's always a backstory to, oh my God, look at the YouTube. I love when they start sending hearts and everything. I love that stuff. That stuff drives me wild.
I love it.
And so there's always a backstory to how you became this beautiful mom and grandmom and doing all these things for yourself. And so tell us the backstory. Where'd you come from?
Oh, so I was born September 26th, 1980. And my mom had me. She was a single parent for the first 5 years of my life.
Mhm,
Um, I was surrounded by family. You know, I had my nan, my aunts, my uncles.
mhm,
Um, and then my mom met my dad and they got married. We moved around a lot.
mhm,
Um, and life life was different. Life
mhm,
was different. Um, I come from a backstory of molestation, of abuse.
mhm,
Um, I was molested by two of my uncles from the time I was two until I was 3 or 4, and then it stopped, and then it started right back. Um, and it happened until I was 15, 16, 17 years old, you know.
wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Wow.
I It's a process, a lot of trauma.
Mhm, mhm. And so when you say trauma, did you get therapy for it?
I went to different therapies, yes. Like that's how my mom and dad actually found out that I had been molested. Was because we were going to a family therapist and he was like, I want to talk to you by yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, why? You know, that,
Yeah.
well, you know, the teenage attitude, like, why? What, you know, I'm participating.
Mhm.
um, because he's seen that I was hiding. He's seen that that I was masquerading things. And
Mhm.
it didn't matter how deep they were.
Mhm.
He's seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to hide, especially if you're with a professional who is really doing their job and paying attention. If you have a professional and you're in therapy, because you're really trying to heal from these past traumas, then it's important that that person pick up on the nonverbal language as well. So that's good for you. And so it's sort of an ongoing process with trauma, right? So I know for me, I shot my saw my dad shoot my mom, and I was like 5 or 6 years old. People, I kind of skipped that part in my book, and people are like, I touched on it just a little bit because the book is about trauma, but it's not about trauma focused. You know, it was more about me surviving things like cancer and addiction. Um, but I could have went all the way in talking about that, and I just something would not let me. So I'm like, okay, well then now I got to write a series.
There's a plan for everything.
So I was like, well, I gotta tell that side if I told this side, because all of those traumas led me to substances. Would you say
So
that that happened to you?
I would totally agree with you that it was better for me to numb, not feel, not go as deep down, because for
Yeah.
me, I was a mask.
Mm-hmm.
I was whatever I needed to be whenever I needed to be it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was easier for me to hide in my own skin. Like I
Yeah.
hid in my own skin. Like I was I was girly but yet boyish. I went through drastic changes in my hair. Like I would cut it all off, or I would do it long, or
Wow.
I wore
Yeah.
baggy clothes.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to identify, because
Mm.
my identification, I I didn't know how to identify. How do I identify as Dani? And
Yeah.
I'm learning that today, how to identify who I am. It's still a work in progress, of course, but um, I'm learning that I'm not defined by my trauma. I'm not
Absolutely.
defined by all the stuff that I've been through, but it's still a hard pill to swallow.
Absolutely. How long? And what did you use?
So my my substances started, I was a teenager when I remembered messing around with alcohol. Was
Mm-hmm.
never really my thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then of course marijuana came in. I went through a quite a strain of that for a little while, but completely stopped that. But it was when I got put on prescription medication, pain medicine. It was
Mm.
like, um, so 14, 15, 16, 17, even 18, I would mess around, with alcohol or marijuana, occasional like ecstasy pill or acid, but it was nothing really hard until I got prescribed pain medicine,
Mm-hmm.
which was, so I had my daughter. I turned 19 3 weeks after I had my oldest. So September 1st, she's born. September 26th, I turned 19.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I I gained a lot of weight with her. And then I had medical issue after medical issue. And so I got prescribed pain medicine.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Isn't that something? Let me talk to the audience. So if you're in the audience, please drop your name inside of the chat because I can't see everybody all over because you should know, Dani. You are on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn, you're on something called Rabbit, you're on Spotify, you're on Facebook, you're live on Twitter. Which one did I miss? Instagram. There's
Wow.
so many of them, and my YouTube channel. So it's hard for me. I'm like, got all these screens in front of me, and I keep looking over here, looking over there, and it's hard to like keep up with the people or whatever. And I like to include the audience. There was something. Hi, Denise. I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Kevin. Thank you for joining. Hi, Liz. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate all of you for coming and all of your support. There was something significant you said that I'd like to chime in on a little bit more. You said it was nothing really hard, but you named all of these substances. I'm like, she didn't think that was hard drugs.
You know,
Can you
there,
talk a little bit more about that?
so for me, um, there is more and more is the way I view it. It
Got it.
doesn't, um, but as far as hard for me was when I removed myself from the oxycodone, and
Ah,
then was prescribed Opanas, then went to heroin, and
ooh,
and then come to find out I was actually doing fentanyl. So
right.
any substance for me is now hard.
Okay, I
Like,
got you. After that, okay, I got it. I see why you say hard. Do you know that some people would say opposite in that and name it hard? Some people will say, well, the heroin and the fentanyl and the meth, the patches and all that stuff was was hard. They would say that was hard at the beginning, but not the end. That's really weird for me. Some people would do that. Hard for me was anything because my system just was not built for any of that. And I came off the porch late then. You see how you started saying like when I was 11 and then I was 12 and then I was 15. I was doing the right things like figuring out I like boys, let's go behind the bushes and stuff like that. That type of stuff. And then later in my 30s is where I was like, well, my mom's gone, everybody's gone. They left me here to raise this little girl. That was a lie I told for years. For years that my mother retired and left and went down south and my sisters moved with her. And then I started smoking crack cocaine. I lied. Ain't that something? And then when I got clean, I started seeing, oh, that's why you use drugs with the trauma and sort of like your story. So what I'm finding from talking to, so far it was 2 weeks of surviving addiction, that we all had that one thing in common, Dani. And it didn't matter how we got there, we used. And trauma is underneath all of it. Because last week she was talking about fighting in the streets, being shot and doing all this stuff. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But yet we stand.
Yes. Because
Yet
we're stronger than we think we are.
Let's go to the audience. They said, how long did you use? Did you go on methadone? They're asking. The audience is asking you these questions. Methadone and all that type of stuff. Did you do that?
So I used for on and off 20 years.
Okay.
And getting off of the fentanyl and heroin, yeah, it took Suboxone.
See, yeah. Right?
It took a detox and it took, yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead, tell the story.
And
Tell the story.
So I know there, for me, and my story is mine, right?
That's right.
And so for me, the Suboxone was a life jacket. It was a life preserver that, so because I was going right back into the same county that I got high in, that I used in, that my ex-husband was here, that my children were here, that all of my past, it was here in this, Carteret County in North Carolina, as big as it might be, it's very small. And you can't go but so far.
Right.
And in order for me to face, I call my disease Gertrude. So if you hear me refer to her or refer to my disease, her name is Gertrude.
Come on.
Because she wants to kill me.
Yes.
Like she's constantly on my shoulders, constantly in my ear, constantly in my head, telling me, oh, you can't do this. Because I found out that, Gertrude comes in more ways than just me using drugs.
Come on.
So I have to get my thinking right. I have to make sure that I'm of clear mind and that I'm communicating. I'm not just talking, because I can talk your ear off. I can talk to a complete stranger, but it's actually communicating the words out of my mouth that said, I have a problem and I can't do this by myself. And that was Suboxone for me. It was, I can't do this by myself, going back to where I lived and trying to do this. I need a life jacket. Because
I know.
The next time I use, I'm going to die.
Absolutely.
And it's such a reality check.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Because
the chat's going crazy. I'm telling you, the chat's going crazy. They're saying stuff like amazing. You got hearts all over the place. One of your friends are up here like, Dani, you're my favorite. Tell the story. I love you from here to the moon. Another person saying, hey, I used to live on Gertrude Street in real life. You know, another person saying, Dani, tell your story. You're amazing. This is what the people are saying in the chat. You see nothing but hearts. It's just going crazy.
It's nice that people are here supporting and wanting to learn and educate and knowing that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
And
alone.
so one person wants to know more about Suboxone. So let's educate. We can educate now about Suboxone. It blocks, right? A
Yeah.
Suboxone is a blocker. And Dani, you really used it in a really great way. Some people get off at some point. Some people never get off. Some people stay on because that's what they need. I want people to know that Suboxone is a medication. It is not a substance.
No, it
It
is
is
not.
not a substance because people get. This is what I tell people, Dani. Do I ask you about your heart medication? Or do I ask you about your HIV medication? Do I ask you about your high blood pressure medication? Then don't bother me about my Suboxone medication. Right? That's how it
That's
should.
right. That's
It's
right.
and I'm glad that I'm when I say that I'm grateful that your honesty on this podcast tonight. Let's give it up, y'all. Give it up. That honesty is so important because someone really might need that extra cushion. You're not living the way you used to. That Suboxone help you not go robs, cheat, steal, manipulate, backstab, lead the kids, and all that stuff. Correct?
That's right.
Okay. Take your medicine. Period. And so one person said, are you planning to stop ever? Sabak.
Yes.
They do. They wean you off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Good job. So yes, there it is. She's with the doctor and then working with her medical team, and they will be weaning her off at some point. And if they don't, so what? Ain't none of our business. She ain't doing society the way she used to do in society. I love it. They giving you hearts. They saying, "Oh God, look at them. They going crazy." Oh, I love it. It says, "What advice?" This is what the audience is asking. What advice will you have for a newcomer who is using methadone as a life jacket? Because you use Suboxone as a life jacket. So, what advice would you have for someone who's using methadone?
So, and this goes across the board for any MRT medication.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am okay with whatever somebody needs to help them, and that is with their doctor, their care provider, that they work out a treatment plan that is best suited for that individual. And I don't think that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, on these MRTs you have therapy, you have drug screening, you
Mm-hmm.
have, randoms, you
Mm-hmm.
have counts, you
Yep.
have
Or do.
all this check boxes of, I need accountability, I need
Yeah.
responsibility, this is
Come
not
on.
just this is giving me a quality of life that, let me check the boxes here, you know.
Nice.
So I think, as my thing is, if you have a treatment plan that you discuss with your doctor on your case, it is a case by case basis.
Absolutely.
You go there and you talk about everything. They ask all kinds of questions. They get to know who you are,
Mm.
and as long as you're taking it like you're supposed to, if you feel funny, then you need to tell your doctor, because
Absolutely. Very
it's
good.
not, these medications are not to get you, this
Mm-hmm.
is not a substance taking another substance. It's
That's
not a substance masking things. It's supposed to give you a quality of life to get you back where you need to go, and however long you need to be on it for what you need it for. That
I'm
is on
when
your.
I say that is the perfect answer. Thank you so much. You broke it down. Well, there it is, folks. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table. Danny herself just broke it right down. Get with your medical provider, she says. Oh, Cynthia says, perfect, Danny. I got that. Thinking she's the one that asked the question, by the way. And she said, perfect. Thank you. People saying blessings. People saying, I hear you. People saying, do what you got to do. They're all in there. They're supporting you. They're supporting us. I'm so grateful. I'm so glad that you had the courage, because it takes courage to come on and share your story and how you got clean. Because yes, some people will say, no, she's not clean. Well, yes, she is, because we didn't ask you about your medicine. Don't ask you about ours. And guess what? She admitted it. She said it right here. She, what? I'm gonna ask you this question too. Along with your Suboxone, what else do you do to stay clean? That's the next question.
Oh,
Now she's doing MRT, MAT, medication assistant treatment, along with
so
I
I
know
do.
I know the place you go. I know where you go.
So I do group therapy. I do
Uh-huh.
individual therapy.
Uh-huh.
I do 12-step. I
Eh.
do I do different I do a Buddhist based
Woo!
recovery.
Honey,
I do whatever I need to do to better myself and to make sure that I am always being able to know what tools, because we can't ever have enough tools in the toolbox.
that's right,
You
Dan.
know, we need to have whatever we need around us supporting us and giving us the ability. So I use a lot of coping skills. I'm also going to school to be
Uh-oh.
an addiction specialist.
What?
So
Right, girl, you go, girl. Congratulations.
thank
Let's
you.
congratulate her, y'all. Come on, give it up. That's a long way from heroin, from the alleyway, honey. You heard what she said right here on Bring It to the Table. She said, I'm going to school and I'm going to give back and I'm going to help others just like me. You better go. And you know, I often say that those who suffered and used substances and overcame these mental health challenges have walked into their purpose without their permission. They have no idea that they are in their purpose. Well, what is that? Go back and help someone else just like myself. I love it. I love it. You heard it right here, folks, on Bring It to the Table. I got Danny, is that's Weiss from North Carolina. She gave it up. She is dropping jewels. She's saying, mind your business, because I am powerless. I don't care what you say. I'm going to do what I need to do to stay afloat and to live beyond my dreams. She said, I'm going to college. Now, if I was using drugs or if Suboxone was a drug, I would not be in no college. Okay. I would be nowhere near a professor following nobody's directions. Right, Danny?
Nope,
And she
not at
showed me
all.
that grandbaby today. I know my daughter told me, Mom, you'll never see my kids if I ever have some, because she was like 17, 18 at that time. And she says, you will never see my kids if you continue what you are doing. And she left for college. So when you showed me that grandbaby today, I said, ain't nobody leaving us with no kids if we were still behaving the way, because it all shows up in our behavior and attitude, correct?
It does. Very much so.
That part. And me and you, we go to a special place together and
Yes,
we
we
be
do.
getting it in, honey.
Yes,
We be
very
getting
much
it
so.
in. We be getting it in, keeping our feet above ground. I am elated that you were on. We are at that half hour mark. Let me see. Let me look in the chat. Let's see if there's anything else. They said, share the hope, girl. Share the hope, honey. They going in on you. Let me see what else. It's so many windows. I can't. Which one? Let me see. Anybody else that's here that I have not named, because I like to name everyone that I can see at least. Let me scroll back up a little bit. You know, Matthew. Matthew said he love you.
Oh, I love you, Matthew.
He said, Matthew from North Carolina loves you, Danny. You're killing it, girl.
Oh, I love
Kill
you.
it.
You're killing it.
Uh-huh. We stick together no matter what. I am thinking of this. I would like to come to North Carolina to do a book event.
Come on.
I'm thinking it. I don't, oh, you're the only person I know. Well, no, I do have family in North Carolina too, in Greensboro.
Okay, that's like
Yeah.
it's like 4 or 5 hours from me. It's still
Wow.
beautiful though. So
Yeah,
you
you're
got
far out. Are you far out?
so I'm on the east coast of North Carolina. I am beach, like I'm an hour and 45 minutes from Wilmington. I'm an hour
Oh,
from the Cedar Island Ferry, which takes you to Ocracoke.
okay.
And you can go see Cape Hatteras, Um,
Wow. You got to
but
teach me about that stuff.
yes, girl, come
I
on.
can travel. Okay,
Yes,
here is another question. We'll take this last question from the audience. That's that Cynthia. I know it. She come on every week.
I
Every
love
week.
it.
What is your number one goal to complete this year? What are you finishing the year out? What's your goal? Finishing the year out. Oh, I know one of them. I know because we talked about it. But go ahead, you tell it.
Um, my number one goal, I so
Just to
okay,
finish out the year.
I have there's a couple because I don't overcram my goals, but I give them enough time. So
Mhm, mhm.
it's finding placement number one for my internship.
All right.
Yeah. Finishing out school.
Nice.
Um, moving along in my other recovery program where
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
um, and really connecting with I want to do like a road trip and I want to put my art out there with recovery
Oh,
and I
nice.
want to just help other people and I do affirmations as you well know
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make something of it. I want to
Nice.
do something with it.
And you can do anything you want to do. You are your own evidence that you have turned your life completely around. How long have you been clean? How long?
I I have been clean today. Will mark 22 months and today is the the 15th. Today's the
Uh-huh.
15th, so I've been clean 22 months and 10 days.
You go. Congratulations. Give it up for Danny, y'all. With them hearts, with them hearts. I'm
Woo-woo.
so happy for you. That is amazing. That's a long time. Too much time to give back, girlfriend, okay? Too much time to give back. So, any closing remarks? Closing remarks for the audience. What would you tell the audience?
So, this is my closing remarks to anybody seeking recovery, seeking to just better their life from mental health trauma. Take it one day at a time and be easy on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get this way overnight. We're not going to heal overnight.
Not
And vulnerability for me and for anybody should be courage and strength and know that if I can do this, if I can survive all this stuff that was caked against me in my whole life, I'm 42. I now have my children in my life full time and my grandson, and I have friends like Doc B.
yes.
And I have friends on here like Matthew and it's a support network.
Yeah.
It takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes a village of recovering addicts to help a recovering addict. We're
Yes.
not alone here.
Yes.
And the only way to remove the stigma and the prejudiceness and the stereotypes is for us to educate and let people know that I am human. I don't define or identify as my disease. I identify as I'm a human being
Mm-hmm.
who made mistakes that I punished myself for and that I paid my dues.
Mm-hmm.
And that instead of judging a person, why don't you reach their hand out and say, "Can I help you up?"
Wow. Well, there it is, folks. You heard it right here from Dani Weiss in North Carolina. She is recovering, surviving addiction. She is on the other side. She has put down the substances, returned to society as a productive member, has her family back. She has her grandbaby. She is in college and she loves helping others. She attends 12-step meetings. And she said, guess what? Get your support network. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take other people in recovery, family, friends. I loved how you added Buddha up in there, baby. You cannot recover without this power, honey. There's a power in her life. Good job. Thank you so much. Mwah.
I
I'm
love
gonna.
you.
Oh, I love you too. I'm so glad you agreed to come on. You dropped the mic tonight, honey. Okay. So, thank you all for joining. Next week, ooh, you don't want to miss it. We are coming down to Atlanta. We going right on up that East Coast. We had up north in the Philly area to kick us off last week. We moved further south and had the North Carolinas. And next week, we bringing it on into Atlanta, honey. We sliding into the Atlanta area, and you don't want to miss it. Please tune in at 8 p.m. with your girl, your host, author Doc B. She's in the building. Peace. Oh, that was beautiful.